Hello and welcome back to the Bookshelf Odyssey. My name is Art, and I am the host of this channel, along with the Bookshelf Odyssey podcast and the Cozy Christmas podcast. Me and my alter ego from my other channel, we're getting together here to talk about A Christmas Carol. We are celebrating the 180th anniversary of this book's publication. Today, we're going to talk about Adaptations. Now, if you're like me, your first experience with A Christmas Carol will have been on television or a movie. I was introduced to it by a Mickey's Christmas Carol. That is definitely one of my favorite adaptations. It does a lot in a very short amount of time. It gets the story across. It's at times funny, but it's also heartfelt. I mean, who can keep a dry eye when you see Mickey Mouse crying over the grave of his son, right? And that's pretty dark for a kid's cartoon, but that's okay. We could handle it. We did. And it made me interested in watching, the normal versions of it, which then led to me reading this book, which then led me to reading Dickens, and has probably led to all of this glory and splendor that is my YouTube channel. So a very profound impact that little movie had in my life. That's one of my favorites. Currently, I would have to say my favorite version right now is the Alistair Sims version. I forget the year, like 1950 something, black and white. It's just the peak coziness, and I love to watch it and just curl up with it. I don't watch it every year like I do read the book every year, but just about, especially lately, I've been going back to it more and more. I can remember first watching that film with my dad and my grandpa. That was, I believe, their favorite versions as well. My dad, I think, is also partial to the George C. Scott version, which I have found that a lot of people of his age are drawn to that particular version, which I don't care for that one. Anyway, Alistair Sim, I think he is a perfect Scrooge. He carries across the mean and the gruff, but also the cunning businessman side. But his change is believable. And I love the emphasis that they make in this film, is that one of the things that Scrooge is struggling with is he too old to change? There's a quote near the end of the film where Scrooge is crying out to the ghost of Christmas yet to come. He's saying, I can't change. I am too old. And he thinks his time is gone. But then it's such a great payoff at the end when he realizes it's not too late. He can still change, and he does. And he's so excited. He's jumping around his room. I mean, just the joy is authentic and it's genuine. And I love that scene where he, tips himself upside down in his chair and is kicking his legs, and his maid sees him, and she screams and throws her apron over her head and runs out. And then she thinks he's buying her off later when he gives her money. It's just great. I love it. That film and a cup of eggnog, and I'm set for the night. Another version I love is Patrick Stewart's version. Although for that one, I love it more for his performance than I do for the movie itself. I think it makes some good choices and interesting choices, but overall, sometimes I just feel like it lacks something, and I don't know if I can say what exactly. But I think it's worth watching just to see Patrick Stewart as Ebenezer Scrooge. And in fact, the version I prefer then to listen to is his audio book version. It is abridged, but it is him performing as I think he did a one-man Broadway show or something. But he did win several awards for it, including the Drama Desk Award for Outstanding One-Person Show, the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Entertainment, and the What'sOnStage.com Award for Best Solo Performance. So I think you can get it on Audible right now. It doesn't cost much. It's worth getting. It's only about 2 hours long, whereas a full book reading is about 3.5 hours. But it gets most of the important parts of the book. So I would take a listen to it at least once. But then, I really struggle with what would be my all-time favorite. But we definitely have to. Can we talk about Muppets Christmas Carol and how, in spite of the fact that it has Muppets in it, it is a very faithful adaptation of A Christmas Carol. Michael Caine playing Ebenezer Scrooge is excellent. He just performs flawlessly. in that role. Gonzo as Dickens works is I love it. I love him. I want him to narrate more classics like that. And yeah, I mean, the Muppets version, it is what it is. I guess it's it's making it maybe a little more appealing for children because of the puppets and Muppets and everything. But in the end, it's still addressing serious subject matters and weighty subject matters. Like it perfectly balances between being a joke, but also being very serious and treating the material very seriously, which is very hard to do. But it manages it, to perfection. So those are some of my favorite versions of A Christmas Carol. I'd love to hear more. I'd love to hear what some of your favorite versions are. Let me know in the comments below. And also, we want to talk about who are some actors who haven't played Ebenezer Scrooge yet, but would make an excellent Scrooge. Why don't you let me know about that as well in the comments. We'll keep our conversation going there. Until next time, take care, and may God bless us, everyone.